Narrator, dramatic calm. On a cold Thursday morning in Providence, a 72-year-old man walked into Judge Frank Caprio's courtroom. He had no idea that a simple speeding ticket would change his life, shake the entire courtroom, and launch a movement that would help hundreds of veterans across America. This is the story of Robert Thompson, a man who lost his leg in Vietnam and almost lost his hope until one judge asked one unexpected question. Camera follows Robert walking with a metal crutch. The wooden doors creaked open, and everyone turned their heads. Robert Thompson entered slowly, leaning on an old metal crutch. His left pant leg was folded and pinned. On his chest, tiny faded medals glowed softly, a bronze star, a purple heart. Every step looked painful. Every breath looked heavy. But his posture? Still straight, still proud. A soldier, even at 72. When he reached the podium, the courtroom fell silent. Judge Caprio. Good morning, Mr. Thompson. You were clocked at 82 in a 65. What happened? Robert cleared his throat. Robert, Your Honor, I was driving to the VA hospital. I have checkups every 3 months. That morning, I couldn't get my prosthetic leg on. He lifted his pant leg, slightly. A 40-year-old prosthesis. Rusty metal. Worn straps. Painful scars. Robert, I've been saving for a new prosthetic for 3 years. But this speeding fine is exactly the amount I saved in the last 3 months. If I pay it, I lose everything again. He opened a tiny notebook filled with careful numbers. $145, $130, $175. Total, $450. The courtroom whispered. Some wiped tears. Judge Caprio leaned forward, something in his eyes changing. Judge Caprio. Mr. Thompson, when did you serve? Robert didn't even blink. Robert. Vietnam. 1969 to 1971. 101st Airborne. He paused. Robert. I was leading my men through the jungle near Quang Tri. A landmine exploded. When I woke up, my leg was gone. But 3 of my men lost their lives. He whispered their names, one by one. The courtroom went completely silent. Even Judge Caprio looked away for a moment to hide emotion. Then, someone stood up from the back row. Man, Your Honor, may I speak? He walked forward in a white coat. Dr. Wilson. I'm Dr. James Wilson from the Providence VA. Everything Mr. Thompson said is true. His prosthesis is failing. If he keeps walking like this, he might lose his mobility forever. The courtroom murmured. Judge Caprio's face changed from sympathy to frustration. Judge Caprio. Doctor, why can't the VA provide him a new leg? The doctor hesitated. Dr. Wilson. Budget issues, long waiting lists, especially for older veterans. A cold silence fell. Judge Caprio slowly stood up. Judge Caprio. This is unacceptable. Judge Caprio walked to the edge of the bench. Judge Caprio. Mr. Thompson. I'm dismissing your case. Completely. No record. Gasps. Whispers. Robert's eyes widened. But the judge wasn't finished. Judge Caprio. And I have one condition. Don't ever speed again. Just leave earlier. The courtroom chuckled softly, but tears weren't far. Then the judge pulled out an envelope. Judge Caprio. Inside this is $450, the amount of your fine. This is my personal donation to your prosthetic fund. Robert shook his head. Your Honor, I can't. Judge Caprio. You must. This is not a payment. It's a thank you from your country. Applause broke out in the courtroom. But something even bigger was about to happen. A reporter stood up. Reporter. Your Honor, I want to publish this story. People need to know. The story went viral. News channels covered it. Donations flooded in. Within 3 days, a crowd gathered outside the courthouse. Judge Caprio stepped to the podium. Judge Caprio. Today we launch New Steps for Veterans, a program to give new prosthetics to veterans who need them. Business owners donated. Foundations donated. Caprio's own nephew agreed to provide prosthetics at cost. Robert received his new leg, a lightweight, modern model. For the first time in 50 years, 1 year later, the program had helped over 200 veterans. Robert became its most active volunteer. Speaking at hospitals, visiting veterans, offering hope. Judge Caprio's quote became famous nationwide. Justice isn't always about punishment. Sometimes justice heals. And it all began with a veteran walking into a courtroom on a rainy morning, and one judge asking the question that no one else had thought to ask.